This podcast is brought to you by Martin Kearns and the Valor of Valhalla series. In the battle between two ancient evils, can one naive young man become the last hope against powerful creatures of legend? Beneath the Veil is the gripping first book in the Valor of Valhalla dark urban fantasy series. If you like reluctant heroes, infernal myths, and bloody epic clashes, then you'll love Martin Kearns' formidable foray into the unknown. So head on over to readkearns.com and grab yourself a copy of Beneath the Veil today. Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Stories, the True and the Fictional, the podcast that's supporting and talking with indie authors from all around the world. As you can tell, we have Australian accents, so we are based in Australia. I'm one of your hosts, Jay O'Brien. With me always is our resident reader, Ryan. How are we going, Ryan?
Living the dream, mate. Living the dream, literally, because it's nice and early over here in, I can't even say sunny Australia because I haven't even looked out of the window yet.
It's sunny where I am.
Sunny, there you go. Sunny Australia. Nice and early, 7 a.m. over here, so ready and raring to go for another great interview.
Awesome. Well, guys, remember to check out our sponsors, Rebecca Castles and Martin Kearns. Rebecca Castles for the paranormal romance and characters modelled off Henry Cavill. And
all models modelled off Henry Cavill, either way, doesn't matter.
That's it. And Martin Kearns for the urban fantasy and horror. They've got some great stuff out there. The links are down in the show notes. Remember, we do have merch.
Buy my shirt.
Yes, I have to always remember to say buy Ryan's shirt. You too can be living the dream.
Beautiful shirt. Living the dream.
All right. Now that the promo's done, the sponsor run's done, let's bring in our guest, Andrew Johnston. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, hello.
Well,
all the way from Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. I've never been there, but I've heard about it.
Oh yeah. Pittsburgh Steelers, Arnold Palmer, Mr. Rogers, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, let's get things going with the question we ask everyone, and that is, who is Andrew Johnston?
I am a epic fantasy author, soon to be grimdark fantasy author from southwestern Pennsylvania. I study history, and as of now, I have 2 books out. One called The Discarded Knight, which is a novella, and then I have an epic fantasy called The Ignited Moon. And coming out December 1st, I will have in the same universe as The Ignited Moon, which the universe is called the Iron Frost universe, I will have The Scorched Hunter.
Excellent. Well, we are going to dive into all of that. Last episode, it took us an hour to get there, but we'll see how long it gets. We will get there. We guarantee it. But first and foremost, we do have icebreaker questions, as all our listeners and viewers know. We get some great responses from this. We get to know the authors very well, and then 9 times out of 10, we buy their books. So
cool.
It's a proven effective method.
I hope so, because I'm 5 away from 1,000 for this year.
Yeah, I'm even lower than that with my books. But Ryan, why don't you take us away with the first icebreaker question?
No worries at all. Okay, so Andrew, I'm going to set the scene for you because when we first started asking this question, we got way too many politically correct answers, and that's not what we're all about on Stories, the True and the Fictional. So I'm going to set the scene for you. The world we live in, there's no war. We're all peaceful. There's no cruelty to humans, no cruelty to animals. It's a pretty much it's an almost perfect world. So given that we live in that world, what is one thing that you would like to get rid of?
I would like to get rid of allergies. I know it's a very simple thing, but I'd like to get rid of that because that way, people can enjoy nature a lot more. People can enjoy certain foods a lot more. Don't have to have a peanut allergy. You can, have peanut butter and so forth. And, it smooths out the diet. It smooths out the breathing. And, you can be in close proximity to whatever it is that bothered you initially when you had that allergy.
And
All right.
restaurants would run so much smoother. You
Oh,
know,
they would for sure.
it's just like
Exactly.
yeah. No, that's
Oh,
great.
for sure.
I'm one of those weird superhumans that are lucky enough to have no allergies. So I can't relate to what it's like to be allergic to something, but I
Mm,
mean I definitely would be on board with, making life easier for other people.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I work in a school, and I'm actually allergic to dust, and I didn't really think that far ahead. And so, one year when we're cleaning during the summer, I must have sneezed about like 18 times within 1 hour. So that was interesting.
Oh,
My
that's fun.
my brother-in-law once worked with a baker who was allergic to flour.
Wow. How did you
Wow.
manage that?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Probably full bodysuits or something.
Would have to
I mean,
hazmat.
Like hazmat suit.
I
Exactly.
mean,
It's like watching ET.
if you're allergic to flour, would you really want to be a baker? Because that, you're kind of touching baker with pretty much everything you're doing
Yeah,
there. So,
yeah,
For sure.
wow. He just maybe
Yeah.
that guy is like maybe he's like Bear Grylls or something. He just lives for danger,
yeah.
but he does it in his
Well,
local baker's delight.
it depends on the lethality of the allergy,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
true.
know.
It's yeah, because a lot of people think allergy, they think you're gonna die, but it's just
Yeah, that
Oh,
you're gonna
yeah.
swell up like the girl from Willy Wonka.
yeah. That's it. All right, let's move on to the second question. What is something on your bucket list?
Something on my bucket list would be to golf at St. Andrews
Oh,
in
yep,
Scotland
yep, beautiful. Yep,
and
Scotland.
everything. I would love to do that. And I will cross my fingers and not end up in that one bunker that has like a brick wall built into it. Because if I get into
Yeah.
that, forget it. I'll just be like, you know what? There's the clubhouse. I'm gonna have a brewski. I'm done. Because it's like I'm never getting out of that.
Yeah, yeah. Wouldn't want to
So,
start
but I would
again.
love to go there. I would love to go there. I'd love to go there specifically, and then after that, visit. There's like five famous bookstores in Scotland alone. So, at least from what I've heard. So, I want to go visit those as well.
Excellent.
It used to be in
Awesome.
New Zealand, but then like it was like, you know, and it's too far. Let's get a little closer.
It's too far.
I don't know if I don't know if I can handle that far of a flight. Which you guys are in Australia, so you're at least 16 hours away. So I don't know if I'll be there anytime soon. It would have
Yeah,
to depend on where my career goes.
yeah. That's all right.
Mhm.
Oh, me and Ryan can get behind that because we both come from Scottish ancestry. So
Yep.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
yeah.
I remember when I was in high school, I was an IT nerd growing up. So I did computer science at university, but I did this what they called a vocational course, which was you do some time in the computer lab in year 12, and then you go out to businesses and do some time in the business. But we had this teacher that taught that course who it was the grumpiest, miserablest old man that you could ever have, and his dream was to play golf at St Andrews in Scotland. And he finally got to do that when I think like maybe 6 months into the year, he went over for a month for a holiday over to Scotland. Came back with a completely different person, with the nicest teacher you could ever have, and he was
Hmm.
miserable for like 20 years. So there you go, golfing at St Andrews can,
Hmm.
not make you a miserable prick.
Absolutely, for sure.
So there you
And
go.
it's much better
That's
to
just
do it in real life than in Tiger Woods 2005 for PlayStation.
exactly, exactly. So I know some of us might only get to do it through Tiger Woods, but yeah, no, definitely it's one of the most. I mean, I'm not even a golfer, and I know about St Andrews, so
Yeah.
it's one of the most famous courses in the world. So I
Oh
think
yeah.
that's a pretty damn good
Uh,
goal to have.
oh
But
yeah.
all
That and
right,
Augusta.
cool. No, you'll get there. We'll just make sure you sell a few more books and get you over there.
Yeah. About a couple,
Oh.
couple thousand, a couple 100,000.
We'll try and put on a indie book festival there, and then so you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, we'll make you go that big.
that'd be great. Oh yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Right.
For question number 3, Jamie's going to put up an
Mount
image.
Rushmore.
Okay, being that you are a United States of American person, you would recognize Mount Rushmore. So what we want from here is we want your Mount Rushmore of television shows. Can be any genre, any era, just the top, what you believe is on your Mount Rushmore of your top 4 favorite programs.
Let's see, MASH.
Okay.
Then the CW Flash TV series, but
Yes.
specifically I would say season 2, because there was
Yep.
just so much to it.
Yeah.
And then I would probably go with I want see, I haven't watched a lot of TV in a while, so this is difficult. Game of Thrones, and then hang on, there's only 4 of them on there, so I'm good. I'm covered.
Don't you have one more? What was it? It was
There's only 4 heads in all that.
Yeah.
Or did you say 5?
I said 4, so that was 4.
Yeah, but
You
you
said
only
four?
said 3.
Well, the Flash.
Mash the Flash, Game of Thrones.
Oh, so I only said 3. Okay, then my bad. Number 4, number 4, number 4, number 4. Batman the Animated Series
Good
Awesome.
choice.
from the early
Good
90s.
choice. Good choice.
Yeah.
I still watch that at least once every 18 months.
Oh yeah.
It's just, I mean, it's just you've got the most iconic Batman voice of all, Kevin Conroy, in my opinion, one of the best Batmans, even though he actually did get to do a live action in the CW.
Briefly, yeah.
In the, I think it was
Crisis on Infinite Earths or something like
Earths,
that.
yeah. He got to portray Batman, which I thought was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, 100%. Batman the Animated Series was I think the first superhero cartoon I watched ever in my entire life.
Mhm.
I own the Blu-ray version, and obviously it's on HBO Max, so I can watch it whenever I want. But yes, such a good show, and if it wasn't for Batman the Animated Series, we never would have gotten Harlequin, because she was
Exactly.
created specifically for the animated series. So yeah, 100%. We'll definitely get on board with that.
So was
She's for Mr. J.
Mr. J. So was
Oh,
she?
Harley, you're the sharpest tool in my box. Oh, Puddin'.
Love it. So was Harley really created like in the cartoon before the comics?
Yeah, it was
Yep.
Paul Dini,
Wow.
Bruce
Dini, yep.
Timm, and then there was like a third guy, I think, that was it with it that helped create her.
Wow, and she's like so iconic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was created, I think. Oh God, this is gonna test my knowledge. I think I'm gonna Google it too, but I think it was season 2 or season 3. I'm not sure. I'll Google it while we are here. Batman animated series.
I mean, it has one of the best theme songs out of all the cartoon theme songs.
Definitely.
Now, I would say the second would be the '90s X-Men.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, when I watched X-Men '97, now that I just thought of it, I'm like, maybe I should have put that there because that was just the first season was great.
Just take out Game of Thrones, put it in.
Yeah, get rid of Game of Thrones. I could barely see anything in the last season and all that, and it was too short. Let's throw in X-Men '97.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I was very surprised at the new X-Men cartoon. I was okay, is this gonna be good? Because the old school one was so iconic. But yeah, the new one that they did recently, I think maybe 2 or 3 years ago, was actually quite good. I enjoyed it. It wasn't too bad at all. So there you go. Harley Quinn's anniversary was actually only a few days ago. She came out. Her first appearance was September 11th, 1992,
Wow.
in Batman the Animated Series, in an episode called Joker's Revenge. And I'm just trying to have a look here. Jamie can edit this part out.
Magic.
Trying to see. Yeah, it doesn't tell me what season or what episode, but September 11th, 1992. So, yeah, that was probably one of the more iconic characters that came out of that show.
So what you're saying
for
is,
sure.
oh no. So it was just a few days ago it was her birthday.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. September 11th was 1992. So she would be 33 years old.
Mm.
I'm older than Harley.
Happy birthday, Harley Quinn.
Happy birthday,
Oh,
Mr. J.
Awesome. All right, let's move on to something more random and ask you what your zombie apocalypse plan is.
My zombie apocalypse plan would probably establish a home base at my folks' house because their house is on top of a hill, which will
Mhm.
be good against any sort of
Awesome.
rain and everything. And since the zombies are going to probably, hopefully, be slow to begin with, it's going to take them a while to get up the hill, which means that once I'm fully armed and operational, I can just pick them off from there and everything. And seeing as how nothing's going to be, functional or running at all, I will probably that would be the last thing on the option list or on the to-do list is I will go and I will raid a Barnes and Noble or something like that or a bookstore. That way I'm stocked up and everything. Whenever the zombies are attacking, I'll have something to read and so on.
I like that. Got
Excellent.
that.
And
We're getting too many people. Yeah, sorry.
I'm already kind of prepared anyway because I keep forgetting to throw away the dryer lint, so I have kindling in case I need something to light a fire with.
Cool.
I like it. No, it's good. We get a lot of people saying that they would just like to lay down and die and let the zombies take over because they just figure that they can't, they would have no chance. But I'm like, come on, you got to fight for your life. It's everyone,
Exactly.
and we have established that America. We set up a little map of what zombies, like what areas in the world would get what zombies, and we decided that America's going to get the Walking Dead zombies. So they're the slow,
Yeah.
slow
yeah.
moving zombies. So I mean, you guys have got the best chance of them all. And why not?
Exactly.
Kill
Oh,
some
for
zombies.
sure.
I mean, I've been training for that for years.
Absolutely. And I've got a one of the Arkham games. I've got a collapsible battering and all that. I just got to sharpen that plastic and everything, and then I have Bilbo's sword. I got to sharpen the metal on that, and I could be like I think what's her name, Michonne or something. Or I think was her name in Walking Dead.
Yeah.
She had
Mhm.
a Japanese sword, but I'll have the sword that's not going to warm me if there's orcs or goblins, but at least it will be effective against zombies.
Nice.
I
I
really
like it.
like that.
Orcs and goblins around.
Throwing batarangs at zombies. Like, I mean, come on.
You just got to sort of work on the precision to make sure that it will actually come back to you. Um,
Yeah,
or then again, if you throw it at their head, you can just go over and take it
yeah,
out once it's done. So it
Yeah.
doesn't
that's
really
true.
matter.
Well, it's about the length of my near the length of my arm, so it's probably not going to
Yeah.
come back. My parents own a sheet metal shop, so I could probably just
Make
make
some
some
more.
batarangs out of like stainless steel or diamond plate and just
Yeah.
sharpen them. You know,
Yes.
No.
Yes.
and you can reenact that part in Batman Begins, and then where Caine says, "Why Batcha?" So because I'm afraid of them.
Why bat? And you know what the funny thing
Why
about that
Batcha?
is? They both have the same accent in real life.
Yeah.
Oh, are they from the same part of the
Yeah.
UK?
Well, if you
Oh,
want
I
to,
didn't know that.
if you want to hear Christian Bale's real voice, watch a movie called The Prestige with Hugh Jackman.
Oh, I love
And
that movie.
that's Christian Bale's real voice.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
Oh, what's
hello,
going on?
governor.
He's literally
Hello,
Michael Caine.
Governor.
Hello, I'm Michael
I'm
Caine. No, I'm Christian Bale. No, I'm...
Christian Bale.
Yeah. A lot of
I
people
love
don't know
it.
that because Christian Bale, when he did the Batman tours, he spoke American when he was interviewed.
Hmm.
You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, he's method.
Yeah,
So he's got to stay in character.
that's it. So maybe he really is Batman.
He very well could be, but he can't fight to save his life. I mean, that
Mm.
fight choreography is god awful.
Yeah, that's it. Unlike Charlie Cox. Oh,
Oh, Charlie Cox, man. I just realized he was in Downton Abbey, and I'm like, oh my God, that's Charlie Cox.
yeah. But he went and
I know.
he got M&A fighting or MMA training or whatever, and he was keeping
Yeah,
up with them.
oh, he was. Oh, wow.
So
The fact that the amount of things that Charlie Cox pops up in that you don't expect him to pop up in, like you say, he's in Downton Abbey. I
Yeah.
just recently finished playing a game called Expedition 33, and I'm like, I really know the voice of this main character. I Googled it, it's Charlie Cox.
mm,
It's just like he's
Yeah.
popping up
yeah.
everywhere in things you
Yeah.
wouldn't expect him to pop up in.
He's in
It's
Stardust.
insane.
That's that Neil Gaiman
Yeah.
book slash
Oh,
movie,
he's
and he's in
oh
that stuff.
wow, I haven't seen that in years. I'll have to rewatch that.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Good.
So,
Well, and I'm not arguing because Charlie Cox is amazing. So
100%.
if we get
oh,
more Charlie
100%.
Cox, I'm down for that.
Yep.
But here's the thing: if we're going to pick a Batman that can fight, it's either going to be Keaton or it's going to be Affleck because we literally watched a 70-year-old Keaton Batman do a roundhouse kick to a
Hmm.
guy
Yeah.
while saving Supergirl.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keaton is like I have no issues with any of the Batman, but Keaton will always be my favorite.
Oh yeah.
At Batman 89 is my all-time
Hmm.
favorite Batman movie. Probably because that's the one I grew up with, but by like I could rewatch that every day of the week and not get tired
Right.
of it.
Right.
That all my all-time favorite Batman movie. So, but yeah, Keaton for sure. Like
Yeah.
it's just, and then I got when Jamie first told me about him being in the Flash, I'm like, yeah, whatever. That's just a
Hmm.
rumor. It's not going to happen. And then when I went and saw
Hmm.
the Flash, I'm like, oh my God, so good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, bring it home, Ryan.
All right. So, question number 5. Um, Bill and Ted from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey arrive out the front of your house in their time booth phone machine. Did I know? Phone
No.
booth time machine. I always stuff that up. Um, and they say, "Whoa, dude, Rufus has asked us to give you a ride in our time machine, our phone booth. Where are you going?"
Oh, let's see. Where am I going? I would probably, and I don't know how many advancements in medicine I would undo from this, but I would probably go to the day of the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand and stop that because that was the linchpin that started World War I and created this
Mhm.
all the mess that we have. And without World War I, we wouldn't have a long list of things that happened in the 20th century. So
I've
I'd do
always
that.
wondered. I've always wondered if that's my big thing with time travel. Like everyone's like you don't go back and change anything, but I've always wondered if what the world would be like if someone actually went back and stopped either World War One or World War Two, just to see what the world
Hmm.
would be like.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, that's insane. Like my great grandfather fought in World War Two, and was captured and held in one of the worst POW camps. He was one of the rats of Chibok.
Hmm.
And he was a big guy when he went over, and when he came home, he was just I saw photos of him when he came home, and he was just a shell of a man,
Mm,
and it really, really messed with his
Hmm.
head. But yeah, I'd
Right.
love to see what a world would look like without if we never had,
Hmm.
World War One or World War Two. It'd be interesting.
Yep. And you can't simply stop the assassin by like say
Hmm.
either taking the gun or taking the bullets because then as soon as like Austria-Hungary figures out who this person is and where they're from, the war could start anyway. So you have to stop
yeah.
him in
Exactly.
his tracks completely,
Yeah.
and without doing any major damage, you just kind of like talk him down, maybe
Yeah.
in a way. Even though I think he belonged to some secret organization called the Black Hand or something, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Be
I
interesting.
think that'd be very interesting. Like
Hmm.
we had a guest on, yes, well, I don't know when this one is coming out, but we did an interview yesterday morning. And she said she was Christian and she said she'd like to go back and see and see Jesus Christ while he was on his mission. And I posed a question to her, well, if what would happen if you went back and everything was completely different to what to what's in the Bible? And I guess this is kind of a reverse question of that. We're wondering what things would be like if a major event in this world never actually happened.
Oh yeah, I
That's
think.
something, yeah.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of medicines and certain technologies wouldn't come into play, and we'd still have the stock market crash of
Hmm.
1929. So wars tend to create a lot of buzz economically. So the world more than likely would not be as recovered as it is now, if it is at all,
Hmm.
Mm,
from the Great Depression. So that's a good possibility. But the thing is, though, we'd save a lot of lives.
yeah.
And there's also the
Oh,
fact of
definitely.
overpopulation. So, what's the lesser of two evils here?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, exactly. And that I mean that First World War was such a such a pivotal event in the history of the world that yeah, it'd be crazy to imagine if something like that never actually happened, what
Hmm.
differences we would actually be going through. So that's a it's a
Mm,
Hmm.
really good answer. I really like that. And obviously, being you history buff like yourself,
Hmm.
that probably would
Hmm.
be
Yeah. Well,
something to do.
Britain would, well, a lot of positive things would come out of the thing with Britain because they don't wouldn't be wearing the red poppy every year.
mm.
And the was the Battle of what was it? I forget the name of it now for the love of me, but it was the bloodiest battle of World War I, and what the British lost their most people on it, and I can't remember what it is now, but I'll think of it later. So, but yeah, a lot of things would have changed.
That's a very, very good answer. I think we
Uh,
can successfully say that you
Yeah.
passed the icebreakers.
I just looked at it. Is it the Battle of Somme? Was is that it?
the battle, yep, there you go, the Battle of Somme. Yeah, I couldn't think of it. I'm like,
Thank you,
yep, it's the Battle
Google.
of Somme. You're 100% correct.
Yeah.
The almighty Google.
Yes. Keeper of the history. Uh,
Oh my,
if this was 30 years ago, 40 years ago, I would be like, okay, guys, I'm going to have to
inaccurate.
go down to the library. I'll be back.
Yeah. Or you'll break
Exactly.
out the
Yes.
old Encyclopedia Britannicas that we used to have.
Oh. Awesome. Well, you passed the icebreakers, so now we get to do the fun stuff. And it seems that we're all a bit of comic book fans here. So we're going to ask you
Mm-hmm.
your origin story, but your author origin story. How did it start for you?
Oh, it was in a dark alley, and a mysterious figure came out of the shadows, and
Through
just
books
things
at you?
started happening through books to me and all that, and said, "Read it,
Read
read
it.
it." Well, no, I started at roughly the age of 20, roughly the age of 25 years old. In my first book, which I ended up deleting, which I'm probably gonna start up again. It was a book about King Tut and Nikola Tesla time traveling, and it would have involved Amelia Earhart and a bunch of other wonderful things. Um, but then I moved on to Science Universe, and over the course of 11 years, I wrote uh, several, books and stuff like that. And finally, in the year 2024, I decided, well, traditional publishing isn't really working out, and I don't see them saying yes anytime soon. So I started self-publishing, and this one right here actually almost got a literary agent called The
Oh,
Discarded Knight. It's about a Victorian era teen going from an outcast to a hero as he jousts in a tournament to save his family. If he fails, they all cease to exist. It has Batman references and a pinch of time travel, and it has autistic representation. I'm a high functioning autistic myself, and it that was the first book that I put out, and that's my highest seller at this point. And in May of this year, I had a book signing at Barnes and Noble. I went viral. I had a post on X that had 10 million views. I ended up on a British
Huh.
version of Reddit. I ended up on a website of people dedicated to hating me for whatever reason. I think it was all the crypto guys because they kept saying that they bought out my stock of books, but as we all know, it's print on demand, so there's no way they could buy out all
Yes.
and everything as much as they darn well try.
You're like, keep going, keep going, keep
And
going, keep
and
going,
then I
keep
had a
guys.
series of interviews and from that, and I in June of this year, I released The Ignited Moon, which is about a revenge-seeking ice princess battling a world-burning threat, and it's set in a more ancient part of the Iron Frost universe. And fortunately, I had several books already written and everything up to a certain point, and so I'm basically just putting them out as I go and making some modifications and everything. So there will be a third Iron Frost universe book, but that won't be till 2027. And there's a lot of changing that needs done with that. But for now, in December, I'm going to be launching The Scorched Hunter, which is
Mm.
about a woman scarred by dragon fire seeking self-acceptance and the downfall of a dictator. It has shape shifting, autistic representation, elemental magic, a tournament, and I made it my mission to make as many amazing magical creatures as I could, so that possibly I could outdo J.K. Rowling. But she has a theme park, so I kind of lost that battle by a landslide. So, but one can hope and dream.
Well, she's got how many books out, and you've only got three, almost three.
Yeah,
So you got plenty of time to
yeah,
build that theme park, mate. You could,
exactly. Yes, I do. Yes, I mean, if it's out of Legos and all that, it'll take
yeah,
all the pieces I have.
yes, do it. That should be your bucket list.
Yeah, that should be a bucket list.
Now, how many
Absolutely.
how many creatures would you want to beat her by? Like, would you just one, or do you want to landslide it?
It really, honestly, is as many as I can make. I mean, most of my magical creatures fly as fast as an F-18 or move as fast as an
Wow.
F-18. They literally, and then I have one called a storm bison, who can breathe storm clouds out of its nostrils, and the clouds can emit rain. And we'll say it's real cold temperatures. It could be icy rain or sleet or hail or something like that. And then I have a Cobra Swift, which is because it has angelic wings and the cobra head and everything. And most of these creatures are like horses and all that, so you can't. They don't really fight unless they are possessed by some sort of spirit
Hmm.
of some kind. And I count this as both a magical creature and a person. My wizards are born from the good deeds of children.
Okay.
So,
That's
so yeah.
awesome.
So if your child is a good kid and does nice things and so forth, a wizard is born from that, and they are exceptionally powerful. And then I got a Chief Fox, which is a combination of a cheetah and a fox. And the reason why that even exists is because I watched Robin Hood Men in Tights, and there's that part
Nice.
where they say, there's a part where they say, let's fox them, and then they put the little message and they say fox them, and they release the fox, and it goes and brings the married men. So
I love
you can
it.
find something new every time you watch that movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
classic.
so do you have
oh yeah.
like an encyclopedia of all your creatures and that? Like, how do you keep track of everything? Real steel trap.
Out there, steel trap, molten steel.
That's awesome, man. Um,
Yeah,
so I got so many questions now. That's just like
I am an open book. I can be here till the sun goes down there. It's gonna go
the
down
sun
here
goes
before you
down
know it.
here. Um, geez,
14 hours later.
so I'll go the generic one I ask everyone, but when you create your world, like, do you create the world and throw your characters into it, or do you build the world around your characters, or is there another way?
I build this scenario around the characters, and I give them the personal problems, and the personal problems connect to the scenario in some capacity. Like with the Scorched Hunter, uh, the main character, half her face was burnt away by dragon fire, so she believes that she is unfit to go out into public, and she doesn't want people to say mean and nasty things about her.
Mm,
So she keeps to the woods and hunts, and because of something that happens to her, she is
mm,
thrown into politics, and she has to make decisions, and she has to see the world as it is
mm,
instead of just being in the woods amongst nature. And then, well, no, the Ignited Moon, that's more of a personal thing with me because my father had passed when I was 16, and so the main character's father, in this case, was had something happen to her father, and she goes through an adventure. And then in the Discarded Knight, basically being an outcast amongst relatives, which I don't have that problem myself personally, but there's plenty of kids and teenagers out there who their parents don't treat them properly and they feel like an
mm.
outcast. So that's my most relatable book is the Discarded Knight, and because everybody's felt like they don't belong in some capacity, and the main character Alfred, he doesn't feel he belongs and all that, but he makes it through. Yep, I know Alfred. It's like we have to pick non-generic names. No more Jameses, no more Jessies, and all that.
Yeah.
No offense to
Yeah.
James and Jessies, but we have to move on.
Yeah.
You know,
That's it. So, uh, how much inspiration? Like, I'm wondering because did any of this come from Batman? Because there's a character named Alfred, and then someone got their face burnt, half their face burnt off. Like,
yeah, from Two Face. Yeah,
is it,
no,
or is that just
no,
like a
not really.
what do you call it, subliminal or happy accident? You know?
No, it's kind of the half the burnt face thing for the Scorched Hunter was just kind of one of those more physical
Hmm.
versions of feeling out of place. And then the
Okay.
Alfred name for the Discarded Knight, I needed it to be Alfred because I wanted something that was different, and it's
Yeah.
set in Victorian era England. So you figure, I mean, how often do you hear the name Alfred in a
Yeah.
movie and or book?
Yeah.
With that. And then there is, like I said, there is some Batman stuff in the Discarded Knight. But once you read it, you'll see what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, and you'll be like, oh my gosh.
Awesome. Um,
So
well,
who were some of your as a writer, sorry, as writers, who were some of your inspirations when you first started getting into writing, or maybe some of the authors that you used to read when you were younger that kind of made you want to become an author?
I didn't really start reading until I was 25,
Okay.
and then it became George R. R. Martin, and then eventually it
Hmm.
became Tolkien, and now it's gotten to a point where I really love Joe Abercrombie,
Yep.
and also what's his name, the guy that wrote Kings of the Wild, Nicholas Eames. I like Nicholas Eames. I can't wait till his third book comes out, but yeah, I like Nicholas Eames because of his humor, and I like Joe Abercrombie because of his humor, and that's why I'm trying to put some humor into the um, grimdark that I'm writing. So
Okay.
yeah, the most important. And the authors that I liked before that, though, they weren't book authors. They were comic book authors like
Hmm.
Jeff Loeb and
Yep.
Jeff Johns, and I've read a little bit of Stan Lee, but I kind of I feel like I'm a little too mature for Stan Lee. I'm a little too adult for that because I read
Hmm.
the omnibuses of the old Spider-Man. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I guess it's for the times and everything like that. That's for
yeah.
the times and so on. But then there's right now my favorite comic book author is Chip Zdarsky.
Zdarsky. Yeah. Yeah.
Zdarsky, yeah, his Daredevil
He
run.
I I've been reading comics since I was little, and I kept it up until 2021 when I had a few health problems and spent a bit of time in hospital. But I'm catching up now. Chip Zdarsky is one of my favorite authors, comic book authors at the moment
Oh
too.
yeah.
He does so much great work. He had a really good run on Daredevil. He does so much
Oh yeah, I got
independent.
most of it now. I think I need two more.
Oh,
So
it's so good. And I Jeff Johns is probably one of my favorite DC writers of all time. He did a really his
right.
run on Aquaman actually got
Mhm,
me back into reading a lot of DC.
mhm.
And he then I went back and his run on Green Lantern as well was absolutely amazing. So I can definitely get where you're coming from with that because there's so many amazing comic book writers. Like I did the same. I've read some of the Marvel Essential omnibuses back from Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. You know when Iron
Mhm.
Man and Fantastic Four and X-Men all came out. Um, Obviously it's it's a lot lighter than what the stuff is today, but
You're right.
it just for me, I like to always. I'm a completionist, so I always like to go
Yeah.
back
Oh yeah.
to the start if I can. Like I think I'm one of the few people who has read pretty much every issue of Detective Comics
Oh wow.
since the first appearance of Batman. It
Oh,
took
I'm
me a lot to
jealous.
track them down, but I mean, at the moment they're up to issue 1050. So, yeah, I'm pretty good at that. But yeah, I used to read like every night before, like I go to bed. I'm in bed usually 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I'll read for 2 to 3 hours. I'll read comic books,
Mhm.
and then I'll spend 2 hours reading comic books and then an hour reading books. So I comics literally saved my life in school.
Oh yeah.
Um, I used to get bullied, picked on. I used to be a lot heavier than what I am right now. At the moment, I'm about 130, but back in school, I used to be, I think my heaviest was 290 kilos. So that's
Mhm.
almost 500 pounds.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and I lost a crap load of weight after school, but back in school, I used to get picked on. So I used to spend most of my lunches and after schools in the library just reading comics. And they got me through. They got me through anytime I wanted to give it all up and every time I felt
Exactly.
horrible and everything, comics got me through. So, I owe a lot to these amazing writers that can come up with these amazing stories that just take you out of the world, even if it's just for half an hour.
Mm.
Right.
Um,
Mark Wade's another good one.
yes, yeah, he did a
I, I
really good
I've
run on The Incredible Hulk.
I've
I
read
absolutely
Kingdom
loved it.
Come probably
Yep,
like six times.
yeah. That's one of my favorite Elseworld DC stories.
Oh
They
yeah. They
tried
need
to,
to
I
make a
think they,
cartoon of that.
oh, 100%. The DC animated universe is probably the best animated stuff I've seen. And if they did an animated one of Kingdom Come, I think that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be great. Oh yeah. Bruce Greenwood is Batman.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. I love that.
Oh yeah.
Do you ever think you'd take a stab at writing for comics? Is that something you'd ever think about?
I already did. And then
Really?
I found out that it seemed like my idea was similar to someone else's, but it would
Mm.
have been a Batman one where we would be at a point where Dick Grayson is Nightwing. Everybody's up there. I at the time when I wrote, I was not familiar with Cassandra Cain. I was not familiar with Stephanie Brown. So it would have
Okay.
been basically
Mm.
Barbara Gordon, Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, and I don't think I was familiar with Damian Wayne at that point. So it
Yeah.
would have been something like that as far as continuity is concerned. But the first villain he would have fought would have been Killer Croc.
Nice.
So
Mm.
I started doing that, and then I was like, "Well, this kind of sounds similar to something else that somebody did," and I realized it
Mm.
is like Nightfall, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't
Okay.
do Nightfall. So because Nightfall is pretty great. I keep contemplating getting the
Mm.
thicker versions of the volumes and all that, but I'm like thinking it's probably just extra content and everything, and
Mm.
I want the main story. But yeah, no, I would love to do comics. I would love to do Batman or Spider-Man or Daredevil
Yeah.
because I just like those ground floor
Yeah.
heroes.
Yeah. I no, I've always loved Daredevil. Probably because the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a homage to Daredevil.
Yeah,
You know. Now I want to see them combined, because that'd be so
Oh yeah.
awesome. I want to
Did
see
you know
them.
that the voice of Splinter from the movies in the early 90s
Yep.
is also the voice of Elmo?
Elmo, yeah. Um, I knew that pretty early on because when the baby turtles talk, they sound like Elmo.
Yeah,
They're like
yeah.
pizza. Yeah.
The
No,
turtles put them in the coffee can.
yeah. Oh, I love those movies. They I don't care what they say, they still hold up. Um,
Oh, they definitely do.
apart from the million mistakes, the cameraman's hiding behind the table and the and the
I,
holes in the
I
Yeah,
love
suits.
it.
exactly.
There's a section where I think it's Donatello's laughing, and you can see
Yeah,
the guy in the suit when
yeah,
he's opened
Oh
his
yeah,
mouth. That was hilarious.
yeah. Like, everyone's
yeah,
going, that's true. Well, when it's switched, when they re-release it on widescreen,
yeah.
it's like
Mhm.
there's a cameraman behind the table. Like you can see his red hat. He's literally just going, you
Oh
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
Or if you
oh yeah.
in the skateboarding scene where it's skating through if you slow it down, you see a human hand go across the front of the camera. There's so many. There's so
Oh
many,
yeah,
but I still love it to death because it was just so
oh yeah,
genuine and so much fun and
oh yeah.
what was it? It's just a shame that Jim Henson hated how violent they were. You
Right.
know?
Well, and then but he does the Dark Crystal, and that, oh my gosh, that gave kids
Yeah.
nightmares for years. It's
Yeah,
like,
but that was creepy. It wasn't violent.
that's true.
Yeah, cool.
Mm, stop your whimpering, Chamberlain. Mm, mm.
Excellent. Well, let's get back to your books. I'm going to bring up the covers because Ryan likes to ask about the cover process and all that jazz. So I got all three of them here.
I like I definitely like the covers here. You can clearly tell. So are these three all part of the same series? Yeah, set in the same universe.
Two of them are. The Ignite
Okay.
Moon and the Scorched Hunter are in the Iron Frost universe, and the Discarded
Mhm.
Knight is its own standalone, which I would love to do something else with the Discarded Knight,
Hmm.
and continue on because there's a lot of open space to explore. There is, however, I have on my blog. It's called A Cold Cold Future, and it's a origin story for the villain in the Discarded Knight.
Mm.
Okay. So did you come up with the covers yourself, or did you just have the idea for them, contract someone out to like put the final design touches in place?
I had the ideas, and I gave them to my cover designer named Gretchen Russell, and I think she's based out of Sweden, and we went from there. The dragon, though, for the Scorched Hunter, is actually the idea of it is pulled from whenever I was with a traditional publisher that turned out to be an indie publisher that turned out to be basically a complete and utter scam and all that, and I left
Mm.
that. So I was actually published by a publisher, but it just didn't quite work out, and I got out of there, and I've done better for it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, all the ideas for each of these were from me, and I so the book that's going to come after the Scorched Hunter, I'm not sure what we'll do there, because I don't know if we'll have a weapon in someone's hand or what we'll do exactly, but that's so far away that I'm not really thinking about it too much. But yeah, no, these are very excellent, and she did a wonderful job, and I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Hmm,
They're
awesome.
very catchy. Um,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
and I particularly like that they're not overcrowded because I know a lot of fantasy stuff is just like this everything happening all at once. It's just
mm-hmm.
like narrowing it down.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Excellent.
Yeah, I narrowed it down with the title for the Scorched Hunter because it was actually first it was Prim Noir, which was the original
Oh
title
wow.
for it, and then I changed it to The Burns That Make Us just to match the main character's
Mm.
what happened to her face, and then I made it the Scorched Hunter because obviously she gets attacked by dragonfire and she hunts and
Yeah.
it's shorter and catchier and everything.
Yeah, and I particularly like how you named it like the Ignited Moon, the Scorched Hunter. So, do you have a third
Mhm.
one planned or anything? And is it going to be called the
Yeah,
something?
it was called it was called the Orderman, which it might change. The Orderman's and basically a bodyguard
Hmm.
that elite, sort of an elite bodyguard, and that one I have to rewrite some things about it, but it's basically going to be about a bodyguard traveling across the world on a mischievous dragon to stop the unraveling of civilization, and that's what it's going to be about. And he's going to be trying to fight the fastest woman alive.
Wow, wow, that's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I figure I throw a speedster into the mix for the third one.
Yeah. Well, no, that sounds cool. So, do you want to just we'll focus on the ignited moon and the scorched hunter, that series. Do you want to tell us about the world you've created? Like, what's it like to live in? What's the story that runs through it for the books?
Well, the Ignited Moon it's very traditional. It's an ancient world, and it's made up of four different kingdoms. And basically, the only way to save that world, even though it's in the same world as the Scorched Hunter, is to dance a new moon into existence and use sacred dances to do that. And with the Scorched Hunter, though, that's more of like I think it's a for singular deities, it's monotheistic. So there's a monotheistic um, deity that the main character is very dedicated to, but she's also, like I said, she's a hunter. So there's deer hunting in it, and she has to impress the people and earn their trust, and also trust in herself. And that world's a bit more Middle Ages, modern sort of thing. And the Ordermen, who you'll see more of in the next book in that universe. One of them in particular is like a Clint Eastwood sort of character, a man
Nice.
with no name.
Hmm.
And I give him the thin cigar, and that's more of a modern one. Now, whenever you go beyond these two books, though, there's a third continent, because there's three different continents. One continent for the Ignited Moon, another continent for the Scorched Hunter, and then there's a third continent that gets featured in the next book, and that one's my own version of Universal Monsters.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I wanted to do a thing to where there was an ancient world, a more modern world, and then a much scarier, primitive sort of world in it. And like I said, tradition is extremely important. And there's not really a whole lot of more great characters that I can think of, but I don't have, you know, people's outside perspectives on what they read might say more than what comes out of my head.
So do you see an end to the series, or is you just going to keep
Three
going?
three books for the Iron Frost universe,
Hmm.
possibly something more coming out of the world that is the Discarded Knight. But like I said, for now, I'm working on the Grimdark, which is it's going to be its own world, and then I also have another novella that I'm going to work on that is set in the town I grew up in, but in the 1970s.
Oh, cool. How do you keep track of your ideas? Like, do you have a set number of books you want to write, and have you dated or planned them out, or do you just kind of loosely collect ideas?
It's kind of a one at a time sort of thing. I've got
Yeah.
separate notebooks for each.
Yeah.
So what I'm currently working on, I have a notebook for that, and I write the continuity that
Mm.
happens as it goes along. I put it in there, and then when I'm ready to do the next book, I'll jump into that notebook
Yeah.
and I'll start writing it on the computer, and I'll go from there. And it's just one at a time.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm going to be taking a break from the Iron Frost universe, especially once it releases, because I've been with the same characters for a little over a decade, and to
Wow.
be honest with you, they're probably as much tired of me as I am of
Yeah,
them.
that's it.
I'll be honest with you. I've been living rent free in their head and all that, and I sometimes I forget to change the toilet paper roll and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So and everything, leave socks lying about. So
Yeah.
you know, I'm a much nicer house guest in real life, though.
Yeah. That's awesome. So plenty in the works then, eh?
Absolutely. I am going to be busy.
And that just because and I completely understand what you're saying about, you've been working with these characters for, 10 years, but after you've written something else, you could always come back to them unless you're planning to, make it like the third book a complete end so that you can't go back to
Mhm.
them. You can always go back to them in maybe in
Oh yeah.
a few
Oh yeah.
years or 5 years or something.
If I go back at all, it'll probably be kind of a creation myth sort of story.
Mm.
It'll explain so much about the certain present day villains and deities, but that's so far down the road that I'm, one at a time if I can help it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't mind going back. It just all depends on how I feel and certain things. I'm just trying to make a name for myself at this point and put out
Yeah.
good stories and hope and pray that people enjoy what I have to offer.
No, definitely. Well, I'm just about to pick up the first book in your series.
Nice.
So
Oh,
I
nice. The
just
Ignited Moon is very
yeah,
happy to
because
see it.
I'm a massive digital reader because with the amount of comics I read and the amount of books I read,
Hmm.
if I were to carry those around with me wherever I went,
Mm.
um,
Hmm.
I would have severe back pain. So
Understandable.
I do, yeah, I do all my reading through Kindle. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm just literally buying it as we speak, live on the podcast, buying
Thank you.
the book.
I
No,
gotta
you're
get a
very
new
welcome.
Kindle myself because thank you. I really, really do appreciate it. I mean, uh, that one, that one I really enjoyed because when I started out learning about history, I was really into the ancient world, specifically ancient Egypt, in the 18th dynasty, to be more specific. So I hope you enjoy it and all
Definitely,
that.
definitely. Well, I've got I don't actually read it on a Kindle because my eyesight is not what it used to be,
Mm.
but I have a massive 13-inch tablet that
Oh wow.
I have the Kindle app on and or I can read all my books um
Yeah.
quite well. So yeah, I 100%. And like I say to all the authors, once I buy their book, once I've finished it, I always leave a good review or a review on Goodreads, at
Thank you.
Amazon, so that
Thank you.
because I know reviews are just as important as
Oh
sales
yeah.
sometimes.
Absolutely. They're hard to
So, but
get.
no,
They are exceptionally hard to get. They're tricky.
Yep.
So I'm more of a
no,
physical
definitely.
book guy because I have a dream of being 80 years old in one of those tall leather bound chairs with the brass buttons,
Yeah,
sitting there and being like,
pretty good.
I'm reading Lord of the Rings for the 19th time.
Yeah.
I'm never going to catch up to Christopher Lee, but at least I will be enjoying Tolkien.
I'm
And my wife,
trying to break the cycle because I'm one of those people who my TBR list is like I've got 50 books to read, but I always seem to go back and read the same book,
Yeah.
once every 2 years, like same series of book
yep,
once every 2 years, and I'm like, oh, I just want to read that again. I'm trying to get out of that habit. I'm trying to
Yeah.
read things on my TBR list and clean that down a bit before I go back and
mhm,
read, the Belgariad
definitely.
series for the 20th time.
Oh, I read the Christmas Carol every Christmas now. I
Okay.
love that's probably that I it's the only Charles Dickens book that I can fully understand because I did try Oliver Twist and just the old language and everything and all that. I couldn't do it
Hmm.
and all that. And then I also will try to reread Batman Noel, which is
Yeah.
you know a play on the Christmas Carol, which is pretty cool.
Mm.
Pretty cool book.
Yeah. Batman in the World's pretty awesome. I love that book. I love that graphic novel. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Excellent. Well, it's come to the time where we are going to ask you if you want 6 bonus questions or do you want to play a game?
Yeah. We'll play a game.
We'll play a game. Story pitch. It is raging.
I will take the questions. I mean, depending on how much time you want to do, I can do is all of it, but we'll go with the questions first.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. No,
and
I don't think
everything. I want to you know entertain and help out and so on.
All right. Okay. Well, let's do the 6 questions, and then we'll do one round of the game then.
Sounds good.
All right. So we haven't done these in a
Cool.
while, Ryan.
We've got to try and remember the questions. No, we've got it
No,
in front
I've
of
got
us.
it. Yeah. All right. Do you want to go first, Ryan? Because
You can go
so that
first because
are you sure?
I like, yeah, because I like to do the
Oh,
last
yes.
question.
You'd like to do the last question. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, the first question simply is what's a book from your early reading days that stood out to you that still sticks with you?
A book that sticks out from my early days. I would have to say so much of it's all comics and everything. So I would probably have to say Batman Hush.
Ooh.
Oh, that is my favorite Batman story. I freaking love
Oh
that.
yeah, I
And I
love
was
it.
very, very disappointed at the animated movie because they completely just changed everything about it.
Oh yeah, I did a
Okay.
book report on Jim Lee's art, and I went
Yeah.
into detail about the tread on Batman's boots. So I got an A on it, but I
Awesome.
didn't keep it because it was so far back. I didn't feel I needed to keep it at the time. So, but yeah, I got an A on it. But I love that story.
Yeah, that is one of the very first graphic novels that I bought myself when I got my first job. That was one of my very first graphic novels that I bought, and I love that story so much. The whole dynamic with, him growing up with Tommy Elliot and,
Mm,
you know, finding out, you know, everything that you find out about that relationship and how, Tommy Elliot was so jealous of Bruce Wayne that his parents died and he got all their money, so he tried to kill his own parents. And
mhm,
yeah, such a good story. But
absolutely.
I can definitely get behind that. Okay, let me bring up the questions because I have forgotten them as well. It's been a while. Okay, all right. So question number two, and I'm probably maybe gonna know your answer to this one, but we'll go anyway. If you could spend the day with any fictional character, who would it be and what would you do?
Any fictional character, I would probably spend the day with Gandalf.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right.
Gandalf.
Now,
What
would
would
you spend the day with Gandalf, around the time of the Frodo Baggins saga or the Bilbo Baggins saga, or just even before that?
Probably probably Frodo Baggins.
Okay.
You know,
gonna hang out in Hobbiton?
hang out in Hobson. Oh, I would love to go to Hobbiton. I would love to go to Hobbiton. That's the sole reason I would go to New Zealand.
Mm.
Nothing,
Yeah.
and that, and maybe if I see Peter Jackson and be like, dude, somewhere in, you need to make it so that I can read the book and not have my head explode when I see three different names for somebody. You got three different names in there.
Well,
I could,
well,
yeah,
I actually have been to New Zealand and I actually have been to Hobbiton,
yeah,
and actually had a drink in the Green Dragon, um, the pub, because it actually when I went was a functioning pub.
right.
So yeah, it's I've got a photo of
Focus.
I've got a photo and a video of me running down that pathway. My
I'm
dad
going
took it.
on an
I don't know if
adventure.
it, that's it. That's it. So yeah,
Uh,
it's so good.
Uh,
It feels like you're just like I can just
mhm.
completely feel like I'm part of the lore. Once you're over there, it's just amazing.
Hello, Brandy Buck. I'm Peregrine Took. I don't know.
All right. Next question. I'm going to bring up a visual aid because this will be an interesting one. So you're in a log cabin. There's a nice fire going. Um, someone's going to come in and read you your favorite book. Who is that person and what is that book?
gonna be Sir Ian McKellen. I can tell you
Oh,
that it's definitely it won't be Henry Cavill. I'm sure he's a nice guy because I recognize the chair and everything.
you're the first one to
And
recognize.
yeah, and well, I recognize it because there was like a short little, I want to say it's a commercial
Yeah,
where he's doing promos for the
The
Witcher,
Witcher. Yeah.
and he does that, which I like the Witcher and all that, but I think I need to maybe reread the second book and everything because I've only
Yeah.
done the Last Wish.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, so Ian McKellen, but what book's he going to read to you?
He is going to read. I'm on my shelf here. I think he's going to read. I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna have him. I mean, just to pep things up and everything, because there's so many things that I would just say immediately, but I'm gonna say Kings of the Wild.
All right. Excellent.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Question number 4. What is a must-read indie book?
Truth be told, I haven't read that many indie books.
Mm.
I'm only really just getting into the world of self-publishing. And like yourself, Ryan, I have to get through the books that exist before I make it anywhere else. And right now, I'm reading Catabasis and A People's History of the United States, and I have a Joe Abercrombie book I have to get through. So once I get through those, I will go into indie. Actually have a hard time telling what's indie and what's not indie on Amazon. I don't know what specifically to look for, but I want to buy tons more uh indie books, especially in fantasy and grimdark because support my fellow
Yeah.
writer authors out there. But
I
I
guess
don't know how to tell the difference.
I guess the best way to work out what an indie book is, and I can only say this because I only discovered it while doing this podcast. Basically, anything that's not traditionally published. I consider it self-published or through a minor publication,
Right.
um, something like that. That's my opinion of what
Yeah.
an indie author is. Would you agree with that, Jamie?
Yeah, well, if it hasn't got Penguin written on it, or
Yeah.
one of
Yeah.
the
If
big,
the, if there's no company logo on there, then
yeah,
it's most definitely going to be
yeah,
Yeah.
self-published. Which I do have a logo for my books and everything.
hmm
It's not on the Ignited on the Discard Ignite, but it's on this. It's
yeah,
called Iron Frost Books, and the mission actually, honestly, is if I can make enough money off of my books, I want to start an indie bookshop in my
Oh, cool.
area and all that. But
That'd be
that I
awesome.
think it's gonna take me until I'm like 80 at this point and all that. Um, that way I can pay it forward to as many
Yeah,
indie authors as I've been with, and also to help out other indie authors that I've never met and
yeah,
may never meet and everything. But yeah, it's a slow process. And the book, the bookstore will be called Iron Frost Books.
that's so cool, man. Um, yeah, because there's enough indie books out there to fill a shop, you know,
Oh,
Oh,
for sure.
and
easily.
Oh,
then
for
some.
sure. Four
You know,
thousand or so a day on KDP. So
yeah.
definitely.
I mean, you'd have to weed out the AI books because they're coming out left, right, and center. But
Oh yeah, for sure.
just
Oh, for sure.
yeah,
Even I can't tell on that stuff sometimes.
yeah, it's crazy. All right, where are we up to, Ryan? Where are we up to?
Question 5.
Question five. Okay, question five. Oh, okay, we're gonna like this. If you could take any character from any one of your books and throw them into someone else's works, who who are you taking and where are they going? Now it can be comic books, it can be movies, it can be books, free range, but it's got to be a fictional world to a fictional world.
I would probably say my character, Claude, he is a giant gnoll. He has silver skin and bones made out of iron, and he'll still be good and ready when he's 70 or something like that because they maintain the stamina and strength and speed of their 18-year-old selves.
Ooh.
So I would like to put him actually honestly into the Walking Dead world because he'd have so much fun chopping up zombies with his axe.
Excellent. Um, okay,
Awesome. I
TV
like that.
TV series Walking Dead or comic book Walking Dead?
Probably TV series because I've only read the first omnibus, which is so brutal.
Hmm.
It's quite
Yeah.
brutal, especially the one specific part. It's brutal and all that. And I've watched a few episodes here and there of The Walking Dead. But yeah, so probably the TV.
TV. Cool. Cool.
Awesome. Okay, question number 6.
Ooh.
What are your 3 desert island books? Now, these obviously you're stuck on a desert island, you're never going to be returning, you're stuck there for the rest of your life. You can have 3 books, and we did have to sort of put a bit of a rule on this because people were cheating. So anything that falls within one cover. So, for example, there's a special edition of The Lord of the Rings you can get, which all 3 books are under one cover.
That
That can be
counts.
considered as
One
one
book.
book. But if you can't just say, oh, I just want the entire Harry Potter series as one of my books, or,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So it
Yeah,
actually have to
no.
be 3 books.
The math is not mathing in that one.
Yeah.
No, I would probably for 3 books I would do The Road.
Yep.
Mm.
I would do from Cormac McCarthy, which that blew me away. To Kill a Mockingbird, which
Hmm.
Mm.
I read that twice in my life, and reading it as an adult has a greater impact than when it hits as a kid when you don't understand any of it.
Yeah.
And then I would probably have with me Kingdom Come by Mark
Yeah.
Waid and
Nice.
illustrations by Alex Ross.
Yeah. Alex Ross, man, his art is just beautiful. I would love to have a couple of Alex Ross pieces on my wall.
Oh, me too.
It just it's so unique, but it's just so like the definition in his character, especially in the faces, are just
Hmm.
unbelievable.
Oh, for sure.
Excellent.
Absolutely. Those are my books.
Done. They're packed and ready to go. Um,
Absolutely.
all right. Are you ready to play a game?
Hmm.
Would you like to play a game? All right. Let me bring up the picture. This has been going so well. Um, the game is called Story Pitch. You have 4 categories and you have 6 numbers for each. Me and Ryan have a graph. Each number represents something in that. So you got to give us a number for setting, a number for genre, a number for main character's profession. And if you want to get crazy, you can throw in an optional addition. Um, and the question is, do you want to play hard mode or easy mode? Because there is a hard mode.
Go big or go home. Let's go hard.
Okay. All right. All right. I got my note ready. So give us a number between 1 and 6 for the setting.
5.
5. Same for the genre.
Yep.
You want to go 5? Or
Yep.
okay. What about main character?
3.
3. And optional addition, do you want one?
Yes. We'll
Okay.
go with 4.
4. Okay. So that's 5, 5, 3, 4. All right. So your setting is an old lady's high tea party.
Um,
Oh, I just have say, Maggie Smith, what is the weekend?
um,
Genre?
your genre is children's literature.
It's a kid's book.
It's a kid's book. Come on,
All right.
keep
Your
it
main.
PG.
Okay, main character 3. Your main character is a janitor.
Oh, well, that's perfect. I'm a custodian. That works great.
Okay, and your optional addition, which is something you must have in your story. And what was the number for that, Jamie?
4.
4 is Sam and Dean Winchester from Supernatural.
Oh, okay.
So, okay, so it is a old lady's tea party. It's got to be a kid's book, and it's got to have a janitor, as your main character, and it has to feature Sam and Dean Winchester.
Okay, well, I would walk in as the janitor. I will put aside all of my cleaning supplies and so forth, and toss the dust rag onto the cart, and it will accidentally land in the water bucket and soak up and everything. And then all the old ladies around the little table, because this is for kids, the table is going to be very short and so forth. So everybody's knees are going to be buckling against the table. Sam and Dean will already be in there. They will be in tuxedos eerily similar to any cartoon you would find with penguins in it, and they will be holding silver trays with teensy little sandwiches on them, and the cups would be made out of plastic, of course, and the teapot will be made out of that. And because it's kids, it's going to all be imaginary. So, one of the old ladies will say, "I got myself some elderberry tea. Some elderberry tea. It smells quite nice. Dean, come and sit over here. I need some more." And then because Dean's a smart aleck, he says, "Oh," and I say, "Dean, this is not a Dickens novel. Give me the tea. Come on over." I'm jumping from British to Australians, all kinds of accents and everything. Still imbalanced and all. It must be the cold
It's
and
kids.
everything, but and so forth. So then I'll be like, I will just stick with water, and then the lady will go, "Oh, come now, you have to have something, some tea of some kind or anything. Don't go about having just plain old water and so forth. We're not savages." And then wait, Dean Winchester. Okay, then Winchester. Is it? Did I say Dean Winchester?
Yeah, you said
Yeah,
Dean.
Winchester.
So Sam.
Dean Sam. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
See, I know the one guy because he voiced Batman, but
Yeah.
hey, so everything always cycles back to Batman. But well, when Sam comes over and says, "Might I suggest the cherry soda?" "We're having tea, not soda, not pop. There will be no fizzy here. Your job is to distribute starches, not to recommend beverages outside the realm of things that are hot. And by the way, if that water's not boiling hot, is not traditionally from the United Kingdom." Sam's like, "Why aren't we fighting demons right now?" His brother's like, "I don't know. You don't know. You opened a portal to this crap." So we're all, knees are buckling to the table, and we're enjoying our tea, and I settled down with Earl Grey, and I asked Sam to just put just a splash of Black Rifle coffee in there, and he did it while the ladies weren't paying any bit of attention. But we all know that there's at least one lady that's paying attention because, uh, you know, these old biddies don't miss anything.
No.
So this one's gonna be like, "Well, you put something in there that it's not tea, and I'll tell you, I'm not impressed by your sneakiness, young man. Yeah, I have half a mind to send you back on your cleaning. You've got 4 hours to go. Your lunch break, you can't be more than 30 minutes." And so I'll be like, "Oh, okay."
Brilliant.
And I spit it out. They don't notice and everything, and they're like, they'll think that I spilled the tea, but I didn't actually spill the tea. I spit it out and everything. But then meanwhile, the other old lady's like, "Oh, yeah, something's wrong with the air conditioning. Dean, fix that." And so that's the gist of it. And it just
Okay.
kind of goes in a cycle like that until they say, "Yeah, you're going back to your cleaning routine."
I love it. Well done.
Right.
Mhm.
That's the first one we've had where we've had a performance with it, so that's really good.
Absolutely.
And you really brought your A game today, mate. Yeah.
I always try to.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a blast.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
What we're going to do is give you the floor to tell our listeners and our viewers where they can buy your books, follow you, anything that you want them to know. The floor is yours.
All right, cool beans. So we will start off here with The Discard Knight. All of these books can be found on Amazon and the Barnes & Noble website and many other digital sites, but most specifically Amazon. The Discarded Knight is about a Victorian era teen that goes from being an outcast to a hero as he is banished to another dimension where he needs to joust to free his family from ceasing to exist. And it's got a pinch of time travel, some Batman references, and of course, dragons. And the next book, The Ignited Moon, set in an ancient world with immersive world building and dragons so big that they could take a nap on the Sydney Opera House, possibly even rent it out and peek through the windows and everything, knowing full well that they will never be able to fit in. There is elemental magic in this, blood magic, and high stakes and political intrigue. And then the final and piece de resistance that is coming out December 5th, 2025, is The Scorched Hunter, about a woman scarred by dragon fire seeking self-acceptance and the downfall of a dictator. This book contains shape-shifting, artistic representation, elemental magic, a sort of Clint Eastwood man with no name character, and is set in a far more modern modern part of the Iron Frost universe. And as we all know, the Ignited Moon is set in the Iron Frost universe. And believe it or not, because of printing, the Scorched Hunter is a tad thicker than the Ignited Moon, which is a surprise for me and actually makes me feel pretty good because I didn't know I was capable of writing anything so big. And now will I be at Sanderson's level? No, no, thank you. If I'm going to write books big enough to build houses, I'll just buy the bricks
Yeah.
and everything. No shade on Sanderson, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. But anyway, yeah, you can find all of it on Amazon and also on my website, www.authorandrewjohnston.com. And I am open to helping out as many indie authors as I can. Annually in July, I have a list of 50 indie authors that I post on my newsletter on Substack. I encourage you to also subscribe to my Substack, and you can find all the subscription things you need to do on said website that was mentioned.
Excellent. Well, all of that will be down in the show notes, guys. Thank you again, Andrew, for joining us. It has been a blast. Check out all these books and keep an eye out for December 1st. Wasn't it coming out, the new one?
December 5th.
December 5th, okay.
Yep.
Keep your eyes out for that. It's going to be great. As always, check out our sponsors, Rebecca Castles, Martin Kearns, got some great stuff out. If you want to reach out, thetrueandthefictional@gmail.com, but please remember that we've got a lot of people to get through, but we encourage you to reach out and double reach out sometimes, just because sometimes we need a little poke and we really do love to help out indie authors. So thanks again, thanks for listening, and keep reading those indie authors, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
See you next time.